Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to shrink way, way down to explore the fundamental building blocks of all life. We're about to uncover one of life's tiniest but most important secrets, the cell. Okay, let's just jump right in with a super simple question. I want you to look at your hand for a second. What is it actually made of? What are you really made of?
Get ready for this, because the answer is a number that is, well, it's kind of hard to even wrap your head around. Your body is built from over 37 trillion tiny little parts. To put that in perspective, that's more parts than there are stars in our entire galaxy.
But what are all these tiny parts? The easiest way to think about them is as tiny living bricks. They're the little pieces that all come together to build, to build you.
And these tiny living bricks, they have a name, of course. They're called cells. A cell is the smallest possible thing that can actually be called alive. Everything you do, from thinking a thought to moving your arm, it all happens because of these amazing little cells. If you remember just one thing today, let it be this. Just like you need bricks to build a house, you absolutely need cells to build every single living thing on our planet, from the smallest little plant to the biggest blue whale. So way back in the 1800s, two scientists, Theodore Swan and Matthias Schleiden, they kind of figured out the blueprint for how all these living bricks work. We call their amazing discovery cell theory, and it basically has three simple but really powerful rules. Okay, let's break these down. Rule number one, the cell is the basic unit of life. That just means it's the smallest thing that can be called alive. Rule number two, and this is my favorite part, all cells come from other cells. They don't just pop out of nowhere, they divide to make new ones. This is exactly how a cut on your skin heals itself. Pretty cool, right? And finally, rule number three, every single living thing, and I mean no exceptions here, is made of at least one cell. So you might be wondering, if everything's made of the same basic bricks, then why does life look so different? Why do we have tiny bacteria and also giant trees? Well, it all comes down to how many of those living bricks you're using. So life is basically split into two big teams. On one side, you've got unicellular organisms. Uni just means one. So these are living things made of just a single cell, like bacteria. That one cell is kind of like a tiny little hut. It has to do all the jobs by itself. And then on the other side, you've got multicellular organisms. Multi means many. That's us. We're made of trillions of cells all working together like a giant team. And each type of cell has its own special job to do. So how does that even work? How do all these different cells build something as incredible and complicated as your own body? How do you get from just one single brick to, the whole you? It's all about building up step by step. Think about it, your cells, those are the bricks. When cells group together, they form tissues. That's like putting bricks together to make a wall. Then tissues combine to build organs, like your heart. Now you've got a room. And finally, all those organs work together in systems and boom, you have a complete house. So what are your 37 trillion cells actually doing all day long? Well, they have a very, very long to-do list. They give your body its shape and its structure. They take the food you eat and turn it into energy, and they divide to make new cells through a process called mitosis. That's how you grow bigger and how your body repairs itself when you get a cut or a scrape. So, here's the big takeaway. All of this matters because that tiny, invisible world happening inside you is what makes everything else possible. Understanding cells is really about understanding life itself. All right, let's do a super quick review of the big ideas. First, you are built from trillions of tiny living bricks called cells. Second, all life on Earth, every single bit of it, plays by the same three rules, and we call that cell theory. And third, your cells are working for you 24/7 to build, power, and repair your body. And I want to leave you with one last kind of mind-bending question to think about. We know our cells are constantly being replaced. Over many years, most of the bricks that build you will actually be brand new ones. So if your building blocks are always changing, what does that mean for who you really are?